All right, let's go.
What time are we doing Matzah Yom Tov?
9:40. Right? That's what we said, 9:40, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. We finally have normal Gemaras over here. Not hard. Let's go. We can plow through.
Everything is relative, Yaakov. Everything is relative.
No. This is really really, Abrami. This one is pretty good. This one's pretty. I think this is pretty good. Yes, you're right.
Abrami,
Chazara. We got to get through Mem Aleph on the base.
Well, no. Between tomorrow night, we'll cover Mem Aleph. We're gonna
Relax, Mr. Kaplan. We didn't start at 4:30.
We're gonna start. We'll do it. We're doing a blot and a half now, and then a blot and a half. What's the Yom Tov Bez Hashem?
Okay, let's go.
All right.
We won't get through.
Zog the Mishna, yeah. I didn't shower yet, so. Mincha's at 7:20. Okay, mitzvah. Yeah,
where are we up to exactly?
Jacob, 1 second. That shouldn't be so bad. You got a couple of showering cards. You'll be good tomorrow night.
Of course.
You're good to go.
Problem is it's Shabbos. Otherwise, I take a shower right after past the shkia or whatever. Oh, well, recorded. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, Zok the Mishnah. Yeah, Lamatis Amud Aleph 3 to third wide line. Yeah, so mitzvah begadol yavim. It's a mitzvah on the oldest brother to do yibum. Loi ratza, if he doesn't want mahachin al kolachin, you go to all the other brothers. Loi ratzu. You go back to the gadol. It's your mitzvah either do chalitza or yibum. So all the brothers, you go to the oldest brothers. It almost sounds like a drasha by a simcha. You go to oldest brother, and you say you got to speak. If he says no, you go to the younger, and then it heads back right to the older, and he ends up speaking. That's the way it goes, right? At least in my family.
No, it's Yaakov. It stops by the second one.
It's like you have experience starts in that.
The truth is, you're right. By us, the second one ends up. You heard that up from me. The second one by us ends up speaking. Anyway,
what you say?
We said the second one by us ends up speaking. Yeah.
But he wants to, so you don't have to go back to him.
But anyway, so that's what it is. What? No. Anyways, so basically, then meaning if they all say no, then the oldest one either does chalitza or yibum. Yeah, talab katan hachi yagdil. Let's say he says he wants the katan, meaning that one of the brothers is below bar mitzvah, so obviously he can't do yibum. So he says, let's wait till he gets older. Or with a gadol at Shiyavim Medina Sayam, he's on a trip, so waiting for him. Or a cheresh and shaita, which means a temporary cheresh shaita, right? That he's gonna get better. Yeah. Ain shayman loy, then we don't listen to him. We tell him don't, you know what I mean? Don't be azat tzaddik, wait for these guys. Right? Just you do it. Right? It's on the mitzvahs on you. Either do chalitza or do yibum. Yeah, so itmar. So said the Gemara, itmar bias katan b'chalitzas gadol. What? Let's say you have a choice. What's the choice? If the katan does yibum, or now again, katan here does not mean a katan, right? Like if Yevamos is not confusing enough, we have in the span of 3 lines, katan one place means a minor, and the other place means the younger brother. All right, so here it means the younger brother. So what's better? Younger brother doing yibum or older brother doing chalitza? So pligi bar Yechon Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi to Machlokes. Chad amar bias katan adifa. The yibum from a katan is better. Chad amar chalitza is gadol adifa. No, with the oldest has the more priority. Even if he's going to do chalitza, we'd rather the older do chalitza than the younger. Mad amar bias katan adifa. The one that says that the katan doing yibum is more important to have mitzvah be yibum, because the mitzvah is with yibum. Uman da'amar, meaning the ikar mitzvah is yibum, not chalitza. Chalitza is just a way out. Uman da'amar chalitza is gadol adif, and the one that says the chalitza of a gadol is more, but makam gadol bias katan lav klumi. Whenever you have a gadol, meaning the ikar mitzvah is that the oldest does the yibum, right? And if not the yibum, then the chalitza, meaning the ikar focus. According to the second sheet, the focus is on the oldest sibling that's around. According to the first sheet, the focus is not on the oldest, the focus is on yibum, right? Fine. So Tran, now I'm going to ask a bunch of kashas back and forth. Tran, If you didn't want, machzirin al kol ha'achim, you go all the brothers. My love, it means that he didn't want to do yibum elalachlis, but he was willing to do chalitza. Yet you still go to the brothers, right? It says you go to the brothers. Shmamina bias katan adifa. We see that the bias katan is better, right? Because otherwise, why go to the brothers? If the oldest brother says, "Nah, I'm not doing yibum, I'll just do chalitza," then we go to the younger brothers. So you see that we're looking for somebody to do yibum. When it says loy ratza lachlitz v'loy, no, the older brother doesn't want to do chalitza or yibum. He just doesn't want to get involved. So that's where you go to the younger brother. So Gemara says the kavasar gabi ha'achin, and we had a similar case by the brothers loy ratzu. If they don't want loy lachlitz v'loy, let's say the other brothers don't want to do anything. Amai chayzem etzel gadol. Why do you have to go back to the gadol? Lemichve, to force him to do it. Lichve ladidu. So then why don't you just force the younger brother? Which Rashi says, who cares who we're forcing? So Rashi says, no. Once you're in Bezdin trying to force the younger brother, right? Let's say there's three brothers. So you go to the oldest brother, he says no. You go to the middle brother, he says no. Then you call the third brother to Bezdin and you say, can you do yibum or chalitza? He says no. Why don't we just say, okay, you have to do it. He's sitting in Bezdin. Otherwise, we got to dismiss him and then go back and bring the older brother. Wouldn't it be just easier to just ask the younger brother?
Why would easier play a factor?
Well, I guess you can get the whole thing, taken care of faster. That's the way I understand it, right? Meaning, the point is if we don't
do the same thing, why could we have the same thing with the older brother?
No, because he's saying why once he's in bed,
instead of getting all three till we get the younger one, why can't we take the older one?
Right, but we're saying, but if you don't care whether it's the younger or the older, yeah, you tried the older, he said no. Okay, so we'll do the younger. What's the big deal, right? But if there's an importance for the older, so then we understand why you're going back to the older, right? Which is what was bringing a proof. You're going back to the older, so obviously there's more of a priority on the older than on the younger, right? So Gemara says, "Keeping the mitzvah rami kafina." No, since the mitzvah really is on the older, this is what I think what you guys are saying, Rami and David. That's since the mitzvah is on the older one, so then l'didei kafina, we force him. We're going to go back to him. Okay, another raya. Tnan, talab katan achiyagdo. Right, if he wants to try and say that we're going to wait for his, here the katan means less than 12 till he grows up. Ain't shamila, we don't listen to him. VBS katan adifa, and if taka.
Is it less than 12 or less than 13?
Less than 13. Did I say 12?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 13. She has to be 12. Then, yeah, 13. Yeah, sorry, thank you. So VBS katan adifa. If the B of the cotton is better than chalitza of the older brother, am I ain't shamiloi? Why you don't listen to why don't you listen to the older brother? Nintar wait till megadol meyavim. If you're saying that the yibum of a cotton is more important, so let's wait a year. Maybe the cotton will be willing to do the yibum. So the Gemara says, but according to you, or if he wants to wait for the older brother, right? The middle brother says, let's wait for the older brother till he comes from overseas. We don't listen to him. Why? Why don't you wait for the older brother? Maybe he's going to come and do chalitza, which would be better according to the other opinion. It's better chalitza from the older brother than even from the younger brother. Ella calls shehuye mitzvah loy mashinon. A major line right here, right? If you don't push off a mitzvah. Right? If you have an opportunity to do the mitzvah right now, you do it right now, and we don't wait. So we have a brother that's willing to do chalitza, even though in the future there might be another brother who would do yibum, which would be better, but we don't do that.
We had this a few times. This is the Indian of mitzvah bal yodcha, right?
Correct. It's a mitzvah bal yodcha al tachmitzena. That's one. It's reason makdim in the mitzvahs. That's another one, right? I'll tell you the most contemporary application of this is a couple that wants to go on birth control right after they're married, before they have a child, right? So you have a mitzvah purubu. Don't push it off.
They're only being martyred sometimes because of.
Well, unfortunately nowadays they're being martyred very much, but unfortunately. But that's one of the tainas. That's one taina. But then there's a more interesting shaila, which is, let's say a guy, the Shalom Tzion Ba'alacha brings it, not the Shalom Tzion Ba'alacha. He doesn't have. I don't think he has a Pirush on Yevamos. But either way, he brings a shaila. Let's say a guy's in the army, and they'll let him out for 1 day a year, he can get out of the army. So which day does he get out for? Does he go out for that Shabbos to hear Kriyas HaTorah? Should he keep it? Should he wait for his off day for Rosh Hashanah, for Yom Kippur? Right? What should he do? So some of the poskim say, I don't remember who says what, say, no. The first mitzvah that comes, you get out. Don't make cheshbainis later as a bigger mitzvah. Don't make cheshbainis. You do the first mitzvah that comes based on this Gemara. When the mitzvah comes, even though maybe later you get a bigger mitzvah, so maybe don't do this mitzvah. No, you do the mitzvah that comes to you right then and there, and then you.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
What?
Lagabi Kiddush Levana.
Very good, very good. Thank you for reminding me. That's a big issue with Kiddush Levana, right? Is it better to wait till Motzei Shabbos because then you're wearing Shabbos clothing, or do you say no? Meaning it would be better to do the mitzvah with Shabbos clothing. It's very nice. It's not part of the mitzvah, right? Better do it during the week, or better to wait for Motzei Shabbos. Very good.
What about the Chassidim who push it from the 3rd to the 10th?
So there they hold that you want to get more hana from the moon, whatever Kabbalistic things that they hold. So they hold that that's a better way to do it. That's
Reason
not,
Makdimim.
And a Chanami. So they're holding that that's not as this is more important because it's more of a mitzvah. I don't know, not more of a mitzvah. First of all, they may not necessarily go with this whole thing. Everyone has their own cheshbainis of these type of things. What about doing a bris in the morning when there's going to be less people versus doing it in the afternoon where there's a lot of people, right?
Doing it not at Nate's.
Whatever, Nate's even 7 a.m. If you make in the summer now, right? Shkia 7:30. I promise you make a bris at 7 o'clock, you're going to have a way bigger crowd than if you make it 7 a.m. Nobody's running to work, everybody's back, right? So then it's this reason versus Roivam, right? Then you could also have it with the truth is you could have the same shiloh tonight with the Seder. Is it better to do faster, but you're not going to maybe do Magid in the proper way, but you'll get halal in before Chatzos and everything before Chatzos? Or you say, no, right now we're discussing Magid. We'll worry about doing the mitzvah with the Chumras later on. Whatever, it comes up a lot. It comes up a lot. But the Gemara here is clearly said, those that say that you should do the mitzvah right away and don't worry about making cheshbonos for later is based on this Gemara. Right? Fine. Ista Amri, on Amud Beis now, Ista Amri is another version of this Machlokes. Ista Amri, Bebiya Kuli Amalei Plegi, the Biya's Katan Adif. When we're talking about Biya, we're talking about yibum, everybody holds that we would much rather a yibum of a katan than a chalitza of the older. Ki pligi b'chalitzas katan. When they're having a machlokes, is by chalitza of the katan. V'achi itmar. Chalitzas katan and chalitzas gadol. Pligi b'Rav Yochanan and Yeshua ben Levi. The chalitza of a katan and gadol is a machlokes. Chadam or chalitzas gadol adifa. We'd rather have chalitza. Meaning we hear that according to this version of Gemara, they're definitely doing chalitza. Shaila is, are they also doing? Would we rather the older one or we don't care? So one says, no, we'd rather do chalitza from the older one. No, it's the same, it makes no difference. So the mitzvah is gadol. When do we say the mitzvah is gadol? That's for yibum. But for chalitza, they're the same. Meaning yibum, yes, the older has priority. Chalitza does not. Fine, so now we bring the same rayas. If they don't want, if the brothers don't want, you go to the older one. My love, it means that you don't want to be miyama, but you want to do chalitza. And we learned that you go to the gadol, chalitzas gadol adifa. So we say, you see that? Why are you going back to the gadol? Elamai chalitza of the gadol is better. So we say loy ratzu means loy lachlitz v'layam. The gadol doesn't want to do chalitza or yibum. So the Gemara says the Gavasok be gadol by gadol loy ratza loy lachlitz v'loy liyavim. If the gadol doesn't want to do chalitza, not yibum, elamai chayzrin etzel gadol. Why are you going to the gadol? Lemechve, to force him, right? Why are you going back? Lichvayu l'didu, like we said. Why don't you just force the younger one once he's in Bezdin? Just force him. So one answer is keeping the mitzvah l'didei ramya l'didei kaifinam. Since the mitzvah is on him, so meaning on the older one, so we go to him.
Isn't that a proof?
What?
Why isn't that a proof to the Shiloh? Isn't that exactly the machlokes?
No, yeah,
so
we wanted to bring a raya to one, and we're saying it's lav dafka.
Why is it not lav dafka? Keeping the mitzvah ramya, isn't that the shita of one of them? That the gadol has. So then it is a proof. The Gemara is being mocked by saying it's a proof. Then how do you else touch it up?
The Gemara wanted to prove it from. The Gemara wanted
the fact that we go back to the gadol,
right? No, just say it's fine. Yeah, sorry. What do you mean? They wanted to bring a raya that you want to go all the way to the oldest, right? Right? Didn't we want to say that you want to go to the oldest, right? Because we don't want to force the younger ones. So therefore, but it means that there's a priority on the oldest. So say, given the mitzvah kafina. It's not. It's. You mean you're? I hear what you're saying. You're saying that. No, so no, that's what it's saying. That it's the Gemara's answering. It's saying that his yibum, the potential of his yibum, would still maybe be. So Memela, that makes his chalitza even makes his chalitza stronger. That's how you have to say it. Okay, so Toshima, Tala b'gadol ad sheyavim Medina Sayam. If you tell him with the gadol until he comes to the Medina Sayam, meaning the younger brother says, let's wait for the older brother to come. Ain't Shaimalai, we saw that the chalitza's gadol adifa, and if you say that the chalitza of the gadol is better, Amaya ain't Shaimalai, why don't you listen to him? Nintan, why don't you wait till Ma'asi v'chalas? Maybe the older brother will do chalitza. So then Gemara says, well, tamech, but katan ad sheyigdil. Right, but you're cutting. You're waiting till he gets older. Ain't Shaimalai. You don't listen to him. Amai nintar dilma gadol yava. Maybe he's gonna do yibum, which is better than chalitza. Ella kol shu. We'll skip the parentheses. Ella kol shihui mitzvah loy shahinon. So the same thing. We don't want to wait for a mitzvah. You want to take care of it. We take care of it now. We take care of the chalitza as opposed to waiting around for a potential yibum. Fine. Now we get to this Gemara that we've actually been waiting for. At least it came up a few times that we've been waiting for here. With whether do we do chalitza nowadays? Do we do yibum nowadays? Right, because people are not erlich. Right. So let's see. So Tanan Hasam mitzvahs yibum kaidemas the mitzvahs chalitza. The mitzvah yibum comes before the mitzvah chalitza. But Rishayna shayim mischaven l'shem mitzvah. Right. That was in the beginning when they were mechaven to the shem mitzvah, meaning they were erlich. But nowadays that they don't have kavan l'shem mitzvah, amru mitzvah chalitza, because that was the mitzvah yibum. Nowadays, when they want to do yibum because for taiva, so then we'd much rather chalitza than yibum. So Rav ain't koifim. Rav says that we don't force him to do chalitza. Right? I mean, we just got
the Gemara is making a statement that today they don't do it for the right reasons.
What do you mean? Yes, the Gemara is saying that we don't do yibum for the right reasons anymore, so therefore we don't do it.
The Gemara is saying it. Okay.
That's what we're saying. So then the Gemara says, "Hamarav ain't kaifin." This is a Machlokes Rashi Taisus. What ain't kaifin means? Since we just got finished saying that we really would prefer chalitza, so Rashi says, but if the guy wants to do yibum, right? Then we let him do yibum, even though we just got finished saying that they're not erlich, so we don't want him doing yibum. But if he decides to do it, fine.
Are there other mitzvahs that we don't have the proper intent, so we abolished?
There's any mitzvahs that we have the proper intent.
What?
Correct. Well, I don't know, parents. The fourth kais tonight. I don't know. Third.
Oh, that one takes a lot. That one, if you want to do non-mavushal red, 100%.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Drinking on Purim. You anybody that does it erlich? I guess there are people.
I mean, we're all drinking for the sake of Purim.
Yeah.
I have a picture of you drinking on Purim. That was pretty erlich.
No, I liked it. Right. You're right. It's an interesting musar here, but I guess the reason here, I think, is the pshat, because we're talking about something that's a chi of kares, that the Torah matters. So if you're not being erlich on this, I mean, you get drunk on Purim Shalai, we're not erlich, okay. So I mean, there's worse things. right? But if you go sleep with somebody that's a chiyuv kares, not proper, then you're getting some hot water there, right? But that's the way Rashi. So Rashi says ein kaifin. Tosfos says mamish fakert, right? If they meaning even if they figure out that the guy is erlich, we tell them to do chalitza, right? So fine. So Kiyosel made the Rav Amar Lahu Ibay Chalitz Ibay Yibum. When they came in front of Rav, he would tell them if you want to do chalitza, if you want to yibum. B'didach Tala Rachmana, the Torah made it tali in you. If you want, good. If not, not. Because it says in the pasuk, Lo Yachbetz Ish, if the man doesn't want, Ha'im Chavetz, if he does want, Ibay Chalitz Ibay Yibum. If he wants, and either he can do chalitza or he can do yibum. But Rabbi Yehuda Savar ain't kaifim, and even Rabbi Yehuda holds that we don't force him. Why? With the iskan Rabbi Yehuda begita the chalitza. Rabbi Yehuda was masaken by chalitza. They wrote a get, right? And this is what it said in the get of the chalitza. Eich plainis by pas plaini. This is all Aramaic now. This woman, yeah. Akravas Yas Pliny, Yevama Kadwana Beidina. She brought this man, her brother-in-law, in front of us to Bezdin. Vishtamoidina, when they let us know that this is the brother of her dead husband. And we said to him, eat savas liyavim yavim. If you want to do yibum, then do yibum. And if you don't want to do, stick out your right foot. And he stuck out his right foot. And take off the sandal from his feet. And then spit at him. Give a good spitting that you see it on the ground. That was written. And then we read the pasuk. We read the pasuk of the psukim of yibum from the Torah. So the Gemara says Ishtamaydeinu. So now, okay, so the meaning, so you see clearly that we offer him the option of whether he wants to do chalitza or yibum. Yeah, so to let it, what does it mean that we have to? They let us know what's going on here. One says you need eidim to testify that of this whole situation. Yeah, because again, you need testimony. This, they're being matter a brother-in-law to marry his sister-in-law, which is a chiyuv kares. So you need to.
There's a mitzvah yibum. There's a mitzvah yibum.
There is, but you got to make sure that there's no scam going on here.
There's a chiyuv. Forget about scam. There's a chiyuv.
No, but how do you know they're not scamming the bezdin that the brother-in-law fell in love with his sister-in-law?
Who cares? He still has. If he likes her and he's doing it for the wrong reasons.
No, not the wrong reasons. How do you need somebody to testify that somebody actually died here? These people could show up in Bezdin and say, hey, you see this lady? She needs chalitza. She needs yibum. Right?
So prove me your brother died. Prove me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Bezdin is going to look into it. They're not going to just trust anyone who walks in.
Right, but that's what it's saying. So, but it says, Ishtamaydim, I mean, they let us know. So
Rashi doesn't say that. Rashi says you need proof that you're the paternal brother, not that the person died.
Good. No, I'm saying it. Do you need? Yes, and I mean you need proof from the whole matzah what's going on over here. Right?
Clearly, you need proof that the brother died before you with Ada.
Yeah, whatever.
You need proof about.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think Rashi is saying to the Machlokes is Lagabe his lineage.
Whatever it is that they decide that they need, you need to have some. The Machlokes is, does it have to be Eidos or just be after that we have to know? That's all it is. So Chadamar afilu karav afilu isha. It's not Eidos. Even a relative, even a woman can come and say what's going on here. V'hilchasa gilui milsa ba'almahu. All it is a gilui milsa. Afilu karav afilu isha. So therefore, we just need somebody to say, somebody to vouch for this, and therefore, that would be enough, right?
We will be matter the rights on the gil on the Eidos of an isha.
Well, yeah, but I think like what Akiva is saying, we're not really being matter the deraisa. We're just looking to make sure.
Is not the deraisa?
Of course it is. It's a chiv kares.
So it's a chiv kares.
Yeah, no, we just need to know that they're brothers. No, but we need.
Gemara is saying that if the woman says it's not a problem, it's moving matter kares.
Correct.
So you allowed to do that?
Yeah, no, they're not being. She's not being mater.
Eisha Sach is not matter.
Eiracha never be sure. How are women believed about Nida?
No, but that's okay. That's a separate pasuk.
I understand that, but be side, how does that work? How can you be
No, so
mater and Nida?
Right. So that's because the pasuk says. So,
But how does it fit within the context of when it comes to Yisurin that you can?
You have a
the Vart
special
is that-
limit from a. You have a special limit from a pasuk.
But you don't need aidus mitzad her being. You don't need aid. This isn't a child of Ashes ish.
What are you talking about? You're allowing Eisha Sach.
no, but you're not allowing it.
Correct. It's not
You
being.
just
It's
need.
not. It's not
You're
like
doing an identity. You're just identifying him as a brother. That's all. Brother from the same father.
He wants to marry her.
Yes.
We're allowing her to say what is the truth. Maybe they're in cahoots here. I mean, you don't. I mean, we're being,
Yeah. So the pshat is that this is easily. What's the word? Easily
verified.
you can find
verified. It's very easily verified. If these people come into Bez and say that this guy's a brother-in-law and he's not, then it's not. They can get nailed very easily, and therefore they have nemonos. That's another Pesach sugya, right? How do you think how do you think all these lists about the medicines? How do you think they get the information? They try and get it in writing. At least they used to, because in writing they could be verified and they can nail.
They copy it from last year.
Yeah, it could be too. I don't know. But they get it verified in writing like this. They can get nailed if this, as long as there's a way for them to get nailed, then they're believed. Okay, let's see about it. So Brishaina. So now we're gonna have a Machlokes exactly how it went down with doing yibum, not doing yibum. So Brishaina. Just let's just as a hakdama. Basically, what's going to happen here is that she is mutter to her brother-in-law. Then she becomes asur. Then she becomes mutter. Why is she mutter to her brother-in-law? Because before the guy gets married, right? She's mutter, right? She could have married him. She ended up marrying his brother, so then he became asur. And then when her husband died, he became mutter again. So again, he was mutter to her, then became asur to her. Then became mutter to her, right? That's how this is going down. So let's see. So B'Rishon show you mischaven l'shem mitzvah in the beginning when they were mischaven for mitzvahs yibum kodemes l'mitzvahs chalitza. The mitzvah yibum came before chalitza. After shein mischaven l'shem mitzvah nowadays that we're not mischaven l'shem mitzvah amru mitzvahs chalitza kodemes l'mitzvahs yibum. The mitzvah chalitza comes before yibum. So Amar Rami Bar Chama Rabbi Yochanan Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Chazru Laimar. But then the Rabbanan went back and said, mitzvahs yibum kodemes mitzvahs chalitza. And they went back to it. They said, no, we'd rather you do yibum. So Amalei Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, ach shadari, the generation getting better, right? Meaning, what? They became less minovalim? That's what it sounds like he's saying. So then he answers, no, meikar savar like Abashol. In the beginning, he held like Abashol. That what? Ulabasayv savar like Rabbanan. And in the end, they held like the Rabbanon. What's this machlokes in Rabbanon Abashol? The Tanya Abashol, Amen. Hakonis says yivimta l'shem noi, somebody who marries his yivimta for beauty, ulashum ishus, and here doesn't mean and, it means or for being married, right? Which exactly what does that mean? I mean, what's the first one? He was marrying her for her looks or for being married. So Taisa says that it's because he wants to be married, but not necessarily care to be married to her, right? Ulashum davar acher, or he's for any other reason that he's marrying her. So ki'ilu pageya be'erva, if he's doing it because for his own personal gain, then it's as if he's sleeping with her erva. But karbani be'ein aliyas of blood mamzer, and I think that the blood is going to be a mamzer. That's a shita of Abashol. It said the Yavama sleeps with her. Mikamaka means anywhere. Fine. So man tana lo the tana rabani Yavama Yavayla mitzvah. Who's the tana that says that Yavama Yavayla is a mitzvah? And then shebetchila haisala bichlal heter, because originally, like we just said, she was really mutter to him, right? Because before anybody got married, she could have married him, Nesra. Then she became asur. When he married when the brother married her, so then she became also to her brother-in-law. And then when her husband died, she became mutter again. So yachal tafsul le'atera rishon. So you would think that she goes back to a regular heter. Mitzvah. So that's a mitzvah for the brother-in-law to marry her. Man Tana, right? Who's the Tana? Someone of Yitzhak of Dimi. Abashol. This is Abashol. This Tana. Mitzvah. The Yevamos is supposed to sleep with her. That's a mitzvah. Because originally there was a heter for her to marry him before anybody got married. But if he wanted to marry her for her beauty, if he wanted to marry her for ishas, Nesra. So then she became Asa, Chazra Bahutra, then she became Mutter, Yachal Tasal Harishan. You would think that she'd go back to her original Hatta, which means that he's allowed to marry her for her looks, and we don't care about whether he's doing this yibum for good reason. Tamalayma the mitzvah. That Yivama is for mitzvah. Rabbah Amar, Rabbah says, Afilu Tem Rabbana, you can even say Rabbana, Vachikama. Yivama mitzvah. Yivama is a mitzvah. Shebetchila haisa bechlal heter. In the beginning, she was mutter, right? Ratza kainza, ratza ina kainza. If he wanted, he could have married her. If not, not, right? But instead, he married, the brother married her. Nesra, Chazra for Hutra, and then she became Asr when her brother married her, and then she became mutter again once the brother died. So Yachal Tafsal Rishon, you would think that it should go back to the original heter, Ratza kainza. And if he wants, he can marry her. Ratza ina kainza, and if he wants, he doesn't marry her. So I'm going to ask 1 second. Ratza ina kainza. If he wants, he can't. He doesn't have to marry her. Ha'agida baby, ha'agida b'kdei tipuk. But he's agida means he's tied to her, right? Can you just let her go? Meaning he's mechayev to marry her. What are you saying? Gemara says elaima ratza kainza ratza chalitza. What it means is if he wants, he can marry her. If he wants, he can do chalitza. So Tamalami Yavami Yavayla, that Yavami Yavayla, that it's a mitzvah, meaning he doesn't really have it. I mean, he has an option, but it's really a mitzvah. So either way, there's two ways of understanding this Gemara. Abba Shaul is saying that it's referring to a husband, a brother-in-law who wants to sleep with the sister-in-law for her looks or for an ulterior motive. And the Rabbanan say, no, it's not nothing to do with ulterior motives. It's just whether he wants or whether he doesn't want. So Gemara says,
Yaakov, once they have a child, according to Abba Shaul, they would have to get divorced. What would be the point? Because he was making his brother by having a child. Why should he stay married to her? The whole mitzvah is to be making your brother, to stand up your brother's name.
Correct.
What once you have a child, make it tasty to stay with him.
Well, then you're married already, no?
Yeah, so that's going to be...
Yeah, but according to him, he's saying you shouldn't be married for any other reason except for the mitzvah of yibum, which is making a child.
That's initially.
No.
Now you're yibum already.
You should not have any ulterior motives. You should get divorced. There's no other reason to be. You already have a mitzvah.
Let me ask
you already make time the mitzvah. There's no mitzvah
Let me
anymore.
ask you, so every time a person does yibum, he should just marry a lady, have a child, and get divorced.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
That's what the Abba Shaul says. It's Karv Labamzer if you have the wrong intentions.
Yeah,
Just forget about even before you have the child. It's Karv Labamzer. Even though there's a mitzvah, so Kol Shekain, you should divorce her once you're Mekayim the mitzvah.
We're gonna see this sugya about whether they have to stay married or whether they're allowed to stay married. But yes, it plays in 100%. It does play in here to this Machlokes.
If they do it for the wrong reasons, then even Karv Lamamzi, you shouldn't even be living together.
100%.
Correct.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
So you should get divorced the second you have the mitzvah being Mekoyim.
Yes, we're gonna see that.
There's no other reason to be with her except to be Mekayim that mitzvah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So then it says, where are we up to? The last line, right? How's it go? Ema Reisha. So let's say the Reisha. It says mitzvah toichal b'makom kadosh mitzvah. I'm sorry, I knew I was going to mess this up. Matzah is toichel b'makom kodesh. Right? It says that you have to eat the matzah. See, this is mamash in Yonah Yomi. You can't beat this. Where's Rabban Horowitz? He's not on, huh?
Once.
It gets even better before the Mishna. But anyways, it says by the Kohen.
Yaakov, he's getting the arbis ready for the Shalom Zachar.
I hear. So anyway, so let's see. So it says in the beginning, in the beginning of this brisa, it says matzahs toichel b'makom kodesh, that the kohen has to eat the matzahs in the makom kodesh. She's talking the matzahs of a korban mincha. So that's a mitzvah, meaning it's a mitzvah for them. I'll tell them aleph now. Yeah, shebetchila haisal of bichlal heter. In the beginning it was a heter, right? When this what do you call it, flour, before they made it hektish, was mutter to anybody to eat. Nesra, then it became also, when you made it hektish, it became asa, b'chazr b'hoter, and then after you made the korban mincha, then it became mutter for the Gehanim to eat it. Right? So the same Gemara, the yibum, but the same thing. She was mutter to her brother-in-law, then she became asa. When he got married, then she became mutter. Same thing here. The Gehanim were mutter to eat the flour, then became asa when it's hektish, then became mutter. So yochel tasal rishon. So you would think that it should go back to its first heter. Tamalaymar, matzahs te'ocha b'makam kadosh. You have to eat it in a makam kadosh. You can't just eat it wherever you want. It doesn't go back to its original status, right? Same thing that we were saying about a yibum. So mitzvah, no, and I'm sorry, mitzvah, and that's we're telling you mitzvah. So bishlam l'rava. So it's good according to Rava. Damar hamani rabbanon. Who's going to say that this price is the rabbanon who don't care about whether they're marrying for looks. They're just rabbanon just saying that it's totally if the guy wants her or not. This is what you're going to say is pshat with the Gehanim. Matzahs te'ocha b'makom kadosh. Eat the matzahs in a makom kadosh. That's a mitzvah. Because the beginning it was a heter to him, right? Like regular flour. If he wants to eat, good. If the kohen doesn't want to eat, he doesn't have to eat. Nesra, then it becomes also when it becomes hektish, and then chazar goes back to being mutter. So yochel tachsel heter rishon. You would think it goes back to the original heter. Ratza oichla, ratza ein oichla. Whether he wants to eat it or not, it's up to him, right? So then ratza ein. The Gemara says ratza ein oichla. But if he wants, he can't eat it. He doesn't have to eat it. The one that had kapara from this korban mincha has to eat it. We hear from this that Kehanim eat when the Kehanim eat from the korban mincha, the owners get a kapara. Right? So you can't say that the kohen has an option not to eat it. He has to eat it. Ella, so what does it mean? Whether if he wants, he could eat it. Ratza kohen acher oichla, or if they want, another kohen can eat it. Meaning the kohen that actually brought the korban doesn't have to be the one to eat it. So tamaloymar, so that's what you would think. Tamaloymar, matzahs te'ocha b'makom kadosh, eat it in a makom kadosh. Mitzvah, it's a mitzvah for the kohen who was actually makrabit. So that's if you learned like rabbah. But according to Rabbi Yitzchak, who says this brisa is Abba Shaul, again, who said that the whole thing is about whether the guy wants to marry this woman for her looks. What kind of meaning that you had an option to, again, the way Abba Shaul understood the brisa was that you had an option to sleep with her for good intentions or for bad intentions. So in this part for the kohen, you also have to try and figure out that the kohen's eating this matzah with good intentions or bad intentions. How are we going to work that? What kind of two different ways of eating is there that it would be that the ratio and the sefer of the brisa would fit? See, right? If he wants, he could eat it with te'oven, which is why we're all not eating matzah today, because you have to eat it with a desire. Or if he wants, he could eat it like an achila gasa, right? Zev, that's what you're worried about for the afikoima, which taka is an issue for me. It's taka an issue for me. Now that you remind me, how you have to take it easy, right? So achila gasa, mishma achila, but as a achila gasa, it considered eating. Achila gasa means you're eating so much you don't even enjoy it because you're so stuffed. Anybody who eats an achila gasa Yom Kippur, how does that happen? He stuffs himself like a turkey right before Yom Kippur, and then he eats a minute after Yom Kippur. So that achila is not an achila. He's potter because it's not you shouldn't cause yourself inui, and that's not. That's what he called it. He's not getting any.
What do you mean? He ate but he actually ate on Yom Kippur?
Yes, he stuffed himself, mamish, totally, up until Shkia, let's say. And then a minute after Shkia, he decides to eat more. That achila is nothing. He's potter because it was not enjoyable. So the same thing here, maybe, so we were thinking maybe the Kayan has the option to eat the carbon mincha like an achila gasa, or he could eat it when he's hungry. So Gemara is asking, it can't be that he has an option to eat it as achila gasa. That's not considered an achila. Ela rotza matzah oichla. If he wants, he could eat it as matzah, right? Rotza chametz oichla, or he could eat it as chametz, meaning he can let it rise. Yeah. So v'aksiv, so then the Gemara says not true. V'aksiv loise af chametz chelkam. It said you should not bake the matzahs in the carbon mincha as chametz. Even a part of it, you can't eat it as chametz, meaning these things have to be matzahs. So that can't be that they have the option. Hello, ratza matzah oichla, ratza chalot oichla. What you could do is you could eat it as matzah, or you could eat it as chalot is first. It's like a bagel, right? What do they do? The bagel they put into water for a minute and then they bake it. So you would think that maybe he could do it that way, or maybe he could do it this way again. And this would be the similar type of shol who's saying maybe the guy can marry her for the good reasons, maybe the guy can marry for the wrong reasons. So Gemara asks, "Hi cholot, hey chidomi, what exactly is the case of cholot, of burning the bread or cooking the bread first? If it's matzah, ha matzah, then it's matzah. And if it's not matzah, matzah samarach. When the Torah says matzah, so what could it be? So when it says matzah, really it's considered matzah. And why did the pasuk tell it to you and say it again that it has to be matzah? La'akif, to tell you need it to be matzah. And if it's not matzah, meaning normally doing this with the bread, making it, boiling it, and then cooking it would maybe be considered matzah. But here it's not. Here it has to be legit matzah. Ella, so Gemara asks, we say that chalut is matzah, l'may hilchasa. Meaning, so then when you say that challah has a din of matzah, and we're talking about having this in the Beis HaMikdash, and you're saying, no, it has to be legitimate matzah. So when does it ever make a difference if you're eating matzah that was first cooked for a second and then baked, or then baked? If it doesn't, in the Beis HaMikdash, you can't do it that way. So what's the nafkamina? Loimar, to say, sha'adam yaitze b'yidei chavase b'pesach, that a person can be yaitze with cholot matzah on Pesach, afalpita chalte me'ekara, even though it first got cooked for a second, even the other ape betaner, since you went and baked it in the tanner, lechem oini karina be, it's considered lechem oini, v'adam yaitza b'yidei chavasa b'Pesach, and a person will be yaitza with it on Pesach. Meaning he's saying that matzah in the Beis HaMikdash has to actually be matzah, right? But for Pesach, just has to be poor man's bread. So even if it's cholot before, that's considered poor man's bread. You can't make it up that this is today's daf. I'm sorry to say, right? You can't make it up. But all right. Anyways, do we have?
It's really tomorrow's daf.
What?
It's really
right,
tomorrow's.
Right,
I'm saying, crazy, good stuff.
The mamish planned this perfectly. What should I tell you?
You so marketed it out, Aaron Kaplan, man. Okay, let's do the next mission. It's not so difficult. Although with Batson, we should end with that, but you know what? We go weiter. It shows that we're doing the right thing, Baruch Hashem, and we go weiter. Right? Okay. So
Yaakov, you should have the taste of matzah in your mouth. Come on.
Yeah, who needs a shower?
100%. Yeah. Okay, weiter. So now remember we said that we had said Pashit that the guy who does the yibum, Yarshins, takes all the money from his brother. So here we're going to see in this mission, it's a Machlokes. So what happens if a guy doesn't do yibum? The older brother doesn't do yibum. He did chalitza. Does he still get the money? So he's like any other one of the other brothers for the inheritance. Meaning, he doesn't lose his chelak. He still will split this brother's money with the rest of his brothers. But if there's a father still alive, then the chasam shalav, then the father, it goes to the father, right? Meaning, when the brother that died who didn't have kids, which is obviously he didn't have kids, so then the father gets it first. The brothers don't get. It's only if the father's not alive. If the father's alive, then he yarshins his son first. Somebody who marries this woman and does yibum, he's Zaycha with the Nechasim, he gets everything. Right? Rabbi Yehuda says, Bein Kach, Yesham Ab Nechasim Shalav. No, it doesn't make a difference. He does not Yarshin, his father. Yeah, I mean, this does not Yarshin his brother, his father gets it. Yeah, so Zak the Gemara, Pshita, it's Pasha. So the Gemara answers, chalitza b'makom yibum kaima. We say no, meaning the Gemara is saying Pshita. Why shouldn't he Yarshin? Why shouldn't he? Meaning, if he does chalitza, we're saying he still gets an equal share of his dead brother's Yerusha. So, well, why not? Pshita, so the Gemara says, chalitza b'makom yibum kaima. Maybe chalitza is in the makom of yibum. V'nishkal kulu nichsi, and he should take all his nechasim. Meaning, maybe it's as long as you were involved, you should be able to yashin. Kamash Malon. No, if he does chalitza, he does not inherit his brother. Only if he does yibum. When it says he's like one of the brothers, he's not ke'echad min ha'achim from the brothers. He's ke'echad min ha'achim. What is it? How does it go? Ke'echad. It should be Einay Ella Ke'echad min ha'achim, meaning he's not like one of the brothers. He's only like one of the brothers, meaning he's only going to get that amount. Really, had he done yibum, he would have gotten the whole amount. And now it's saying that he's only getting the same amount as the brother. So that's why it should have said it. So maybe we should give him a knas since he didn't do yibum. Okay, you're out. You don't get any Yerusha from your brother. Kamash Malon, that he will get Yerusha from the brother. Yeah, fine. So then the Gemara says, if there's a father, the father Yarshins. If the father goes before anybody, any of his kids, meaning the father Yarshins before anybody else. Fine. Hakonis is yivimta. So somebody who's kindness who marries the Yevama, he gets to Yarshin his brother. Yakum al Shem Achiv. The pasuk says he establishes his brother's name. Varei Kom, and he did it. So since he did it, he gets the Yerusha. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer, he says no. If the father's alive, the father gets it. Amar Ula halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Ula says halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Chen Amar Yitzchak Nacha halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Amar Ula v'itemer Yitzchak Nacha. My time Rabbi Yehuda. T'chsiv v'haya b'chara shetele. When there's a b'char that gives birth, kib'char, it means like he's a b'char. Ma b'char ain't like b'chayav. Just like a b'char, he gets a double Yerusha when his father's dead, but when his father's alive, he gets nothing. Af hainami ain't like b'chayav. So this one too, when his father's alive, he does not get his brother, even though he did yibum. Since his father's alive, his father gets the brother's Yerusha. So when I ask, so if the b'char gets pishnayim after his father dies, so then the yavam should also get pishnayim, right? Meaning even if he's not the b'char. So Gemara says, "Midi Yakum al Shem Aviv Ksiv." It doesn't say he's Yakum al Shem Aviv, his father. Yakum al Shem Achiv Ksiv. It says on his brother. The Lo al Shem Aviv and not on the Shem Aviv. So my answer is, Ema Heicha Deleka Av the Lishkol Nachala to Sky Mitzvahs Yibum. And maybe the pasuk's telling you like this. Maybe the only time there's Yibum if there's no father. Heicha Deika Av, but if a father's still alive, the Lo Shakal Nachala, where he's not inheriting anything from his brother. Like this guy mitzvahs yibum, there should be no yibum. Yeah, you hear this? I mean, it can't obviously be. The Gemara is asking, well, maybe you're saying that it's totally in the father, so maybe the mitzvah yibum is only if there's a father alive. There's no father alive, there's no mitzvah yibum. So when I answer, miti yibum ben nachala talar chamana, does the Torah say that it has to do with nachala? Yibum maybe yavme. It says he's got to do yibum. The ika nachala shkuli. If there's an inheritance, he takes it. Loy shakal. If not, then he doesn't take it. Fine. So Yosef Chanina Kara Kameda Rav. I'm sorry, Yosef Rav Chanina Kara. We had this word. Rab Chanina was like a psukim expert. He was sitting in front of Rabbi Yadav, Yosef Kamar, and he said, "Halacha Rabbi Yehuda, halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda." Amalei, so he told him, Rabbi Yadav told him, "Puk, kari kreyacha levara, go take your psukim outside." Meaning he wasn't happy with him. Ain't halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda, and the brother does yarshin his brother. So Tani Tana come into Rabbi Yochanan. They taught the Rab Nachman. They taught in front of Rab Nachman. Ain't halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Amalei elakiman. Who you saying it's like Rabbanon? Pshita, it's partially like the Rabbanon. Yachid v'Rabban, halacha k'Rabbin. We know that when it's a Yachid and a Rabbin, the halacha is like the Rabbin, and the Rabbanon is a Rabbin.
There you go. You got the nigga. You got the nigga of the daf. There you go.
Oh, very good, Taka. Right. So Amar Lei, so he said to him, Asamya, okay, so I'll erase it. You're right, I'll erase that thing. There's no point in me saying it. Amarle, he said to him, Loi, don't. Right? At halacha asnech. You first learn halacha. Umukshahu da'akshiloch. And then they ask the question on you. And then you split it, and then you not split it. You switched it, and you said the halacha is like the chachamim, right? No, I'm sorry. Then you switched it and said halacha is like Yehuda. And when you switched it, you were right for switching it. I'm sorry, I'm mixing it up now. He had said. He said the halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda. He said, who's it like? The Rabbana? He said, Pshita. Of course it's like the Rabbana. They're the rabbin. So he said, okay, I'll erase it. So he says, no, don't erase it, because you said something, and then you had a kash on it. So then you switched it. Yeah. So you switched it to the chachamim, and what we're saying is that the chiddush that you're doing is that you switched it for the right reasons, meaning you originally said halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. We asked you a kasha, so then you switched it, and now you switched it that the halacha is like the Rabbana. Okay, fine. The olam should have a chag kosher v'sameach, and they should hear only good things. And yeah, enjoy.
Rabbi,
Yes.
can I ask you a quick question? You there?
You just did.
Oh no, okay. Another one. Should I daven anything for the Amud?